Hi guys, my name is Alexander. Welcome to my channel. Today we'll show you that color film photography is actually quite simple and everybody can do it at home. I will develop the film, I will show you how I scan it, how I will over-process it, and I will show the final results of pictures what I'm taking today. Today I'm shooting with my trusty Leica M42 with the 50mm f1.2 Voigtlander. I'm using standard, cheapest 200 ISO film, which is Kodak 200. I will shoot it in a box speed and I will show you the results. This film is actually quite amazing and has a great latitude in colors and great latitude in the highlights. Okay, let's take a look on this classic shot in München on these gates. Basically now I have good evening light, this is golden light. I have a little bit of distracting foreground, for example here on this side, but I can crop it, and with the 50mm it's actually quite easy. You can use two types of compositions. You can prefer horizontal one, but I have a lot of distractions on the right side and on the left side. Through the camera you can actually see and align the lines and remove the distraction. Unfortunately on the left side you anyway have this red thing. In the center of this shot we have a focus patch, but actually because I will use almost closed aperture, I will just use the zone focusing system. My exposure I'm using Kodak and I just set it up for ISO 200 on 125 speed, and now I'm a little bit in the shadow and it's 3.4 aperture. I probably will go to 160 and set up f4. For example, I see the good shot with the rocks. It's kind of a busy shot with the leaves on top, and if I measure my exposure it's around 2. It's actually on the border like what I can shoot here without any problems. Let's try to make this shot. This is one more interesting composition, and what we can try to lower shutter speed here to make a blur on the water here. And you see the bird, if I have a time, no, probably I don't have. I can make a shot with the bird on this tree. For this shot I can use 1/15 of the second and f4. Here I see the good composition because it's light patterns here, kind of a gold lighten, bluish color and the pillar, and I can crop with a different manner. I can stick just with the patterns here with a 50mm lens, and I can take this part. Now I'm standing in the shadow, and actually if I measure it's 1/30 of a second f2.4. Basically I'm on the limit of the film and camera what I'm using now, but anyway I will take a shot. 1/30 I can hold it, it would be not blurry. For example, we can take compositions like this or like this, but it's better if we just go down and make a shot from there. But I think I will take this shot. Okay, I found my next composition. Actually here I want to crop out half of this building and make vertical shot here with the sky on the dusk. And I really like the lighting on this building on the left side. I will use 1/13 of the second and aperture 1.2. Okay, here I see another good shot just because of the colors. I want to show you the possibility of the film and just stand there in the middle of the road and make shot. Now it's actually too dark. I will put 1/30 of the second and 1.2 to get a little bit more exposure on this overcast sky. Here I want to make almost like trick shot because it's evening, it's a blue light, and I want to just take this part of the windows with the top part and the blue sky. But because it's evening I almost cannot shoot, but I will take 1/15th of a second and 1.2. If you see interesting object on the streets, first thing what you can do is take a look around, because object itself it's interesting, but it's not crazy interesting because it's not isolated. You have a distracting background behind the car. If you take a look on the front side, it's actually a little bit better. We can make few crops, just the classic Porsche shots. And if you walk around, you can try to find few compositions, just separately with the car. Something interesting stacking with the car and the building or with the background. I don't want to make like classic picture of the Porsche, but I really like the Porsche lines here and there, and I like newspaper here in the corner. This looks actually really good. And if I take my camera, I can show you my composition, something like this. And because I'm using almost opened aperture, I will get a great bokeh on this wheel, and it will be fade out to the end of the car. Here I want to talk a little bit about distractions. Here actually I see the great building, I see the good lighting, the entrance and a good bike. But I see a lot of cars which is blocking like full view on the door. But what I can do here, just step a little bit closer, take a camera and get a shot like this or even closer. If I open aperture, I can get a shallow depth of field because I have lens 1.2. I will use 1.2 here to isolate this shot. And maybe I will wait for the bicycle to come on the right side of the shot. My exposure here 1/60th of the second and 1.4. Found another shot. It's actually golden light, and here on the building's color will be just amazing. It's already too dark. If I take my light meter, here the reading says 1/15 or 1/30th of the second and 1.2. Next shot, this building. It's quite busy, actually strange looking. I will try to crop it like so and leave out only top part of the building and the bottom part of the building. I'm standing in the shadow, but building a little bit brighter, and I will push the limits here, 1/30th of the second and aperture 1.2. With the composition in my camera, I will take a shot like this. It's already late evening. Now I will try to push the limits and show the capabilities of the film in underexposure. This is a shot what I want to make. I will stand in the center of the street and try to get this sky and the buildings on the right side. It's actually almost 9 o'clock. It's evening. I don't have a light at all. I have only artificial light, and I want to try to show you that 200 ISO film, it's actually not so critical for shooting in these conditions. You just need a fast lens and push a little bit your steady hands, you know, and make exposure on 1/15th of a second, on 1/30th of a second. And this is München Freiheit. This is actually what I want to shoot in the same orientation. And I will use f1.2 and 1/15th of the second, and I will use this type of composition. And I will try to frame it like this, probably with the bicycles but without car. I have 1 or 2 frames before end of the roll. On this shot I want to show you latitude and exposure on color film. I will try to expose on the shadows on the right side there, and take meter here. It's around M4, 1,000th of the second, and I will try to make a composition in this shot with the two girls in the quarantine and the two guys in the background there. I will frame shot like this and make a focus on two girls in the front. With the F4 it should be a good exposure here. I want to make last frame. Here I see two girls sitting on the border with the glasses, but because I cannot make exposure meter close enough, I will approximate it on this shadow and overexpose it a bit, but I will frame and make composition around this fontaine in the middle and two girls on the left side, and I will use shallow depth of field and will try to lead the scene from the back side. On the meter here I have 1/500th of the second, and I will use f2 here. As you can see, I cannot wind it anymore, and it means my roll is finished. I just rotate here to the unloading and wind it back. And we have one roll. Let's develop it now. That's it for today. In the next video I will show you how I develop film at home. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time. Thank you for watching.